Okay, so now that I've introduced the concept of first to file, next question is, should I file my patent application immediately to get the earliest possible priority date? And absolutely. We know that priority goes to the applicant that files the patent application first. So the short answer is yes. Now why? That's because of the advantages of establishing an early filing date. So you get a priority date, right? And that's your filing date at the of the patent application, which becomes your official priority date that determines, potential first rights in the competitive space. You also receive competitive protection. Your filing date enables priority over competitors who may be developing similar technology simultaneously, as your invention. You have continuation of rights. Your rights will extend 20 years from the date of the non-provisional application filing, and it's a lot of time. And also, you get the all-important patent pending status. You can mark your products and marketing materials as patent pending, and then you can safely disclose the invention to the public. It provides a much stronger pitch, right, to potential partners, investors, when your invention is patent pending. Okay, there's a hidden caveat to filing too early, but let's start with a quick review of the patent examination process. This is just a quick primer. So in general terms, a patent examiner will determine your claimed invention, and they'll determine to see if it's new and non-obvious in view of any technology that was known prior to the filing date of your patent application. That is, in view of any prior art at the time of your filing. Now, patent applications must also meet strict written description and enablement requirements to successfully prosecute the application during the examination process. And that's a process that, again, leads to issuance of a patent, and that's when you receive the right to exclude. So now, what is written description and enablement? Well, it means that the application must have embodiments that support the claims, right? And that's the written description portion. And detailed enough for someone skilled in the art like yourself to make and use the invention without undue experimentation. And that's the enablement arm. So applications that fail to meet the written description and enablement requirement face a possible rejection of the claims during prosecution. But on the other hand, applications that have sufficient development generally meet these requirements because you have generally, support stronger arguments during prosecution. And so I bring up this concept of prosecution here because an eager inventor generally fails to appreciate the large cost commitment that begins once you file your patent application. And prosecution of a patent application at the USPTO or any patent office around the world is very expensive. So, okay, so now that we've discussed the concept of sufficient development in some detail, applications that lack sufficient development may result in narrow claims that your competitors can design around. So what are the ramifications of having narrow claims? Well, narrow claims can result in weak protection. Now, as you recall, not only must the invention must be new and non-obvious, but applications that are not sufficiently developed often lack support, right? The written description and enablement of the claims, just as I had alluded to in the previous slide. But there also can be lost variations, right, in the invention, because new matter cannot be added to a pending non-provisional application. So the invention would likely be missing essential variations and embodiments. But the most significant limitation is economic. It's wasted investment. So as I alluded to earlier, patent prosecution can cost thousands of dollars per application, and in the end can result in economic loss if the invention is not broadly protected. So generally during the examination process, a weak application incurs more cost because it will likely include several rounds of claim amendments and arguments, and each round costs money, unlike an application that's sufficiently developed, because the claims have support and are generally enabled. So, a catchphrase that we tend to use in the patent world, at least in the life science space, is that, speed without substance has its challenges.